Hello, and welcome to another episode of Potside Chats, where we talk about all things China.
Yes, and today we are getting schooled on China's draft law on development and planning.
Right, because last year the 14th five-year plan ended, and this year at the two sessions, the 15th one will be introduced. So
Yes.
yeah, real timely.
Absolutely, a very seminal year for China policy, and that's why we have two experts with us here today. We have Yang Weidong, who is from China University of Political Science, as well as Law School of Law-Based Governance. And we have Cao Yin, one of our senior reporters at China Daily, a great colleague who has been covering the law beat for years now.
Yes.
Thank you both for joining us today.
Yes.
Thank you.
The first question is for you, Professor Yang. What exactly is this draft law on the national development and planning? And why right now is it at the center or the core of legislative conversations here in China?
We talk about this draft law involving the national development planning. In China, this planning is the most important because this planning involving the whole country in 5 years, maybe 15 years, economic development or social development, how to set the goals and how to push the goals achieved.
And for viewers who come from companies with a different political and legislative system, what aspects of this approach to national planning should they be most aware of?
And then for the ordinary people, the planning is very important. For example, if you want to build a house, you should get the approval from the government. And the government give you a permission or not permission, you should follow some rules. That's the planning.
We have all those zoning laws.
Yeah, zoning law. In some countries, zoning law or planning law. If you want to build the factory, you should know where you can build such kind of the factory. If this area very stressed the environmental protection, the government will not give you a license. You can get the approval from government.
And for me, and when we're talking about planning or setting goals, the first come to my mind is a very popular test, MBTI. There is 16 MBTI personalities tab, and one is the P persons. I mean, that is a kind of a freestyle persons, and they find some problems and then they resolve the problems.
That's me. We'll figure it out.
Yes.
It's fine.
And for me, that is a J persons, meaning that is we like planning. And I think that is such kind of planning is also works on a family, a school, a department, and even a country. And China in the past decades, and they follow such kind of making a planning and to say many developments in many sectors. So that is its way, the country's way to achieve goals. It's a very long journey in China. We have a concept of making a law and then to see the law implemented. Generally speaking, in China, that is a draft will become a law after being read or reviewed by the National People's Congress Standing Committee 3 times in general. If that is a very complicated or have more controversials, and maybe that will need more time. But in general, that's 3 times.
Okay.
And after each review by the NPC committee, and the version of the draft should be disclosed to gather or collect public opinions and suggestions. And for this draft, I mean the draft law on the national development and planning, because it is very related to the national development and the public interest. So it should be submitted to the NPC annual session for review in line with the legislation law. Yes.
Okay.
And the draft law on national development and planning is no exception. It has already been reviewed by the NPC Standing Committee 3 times last year in April, September, and December respectively.
Okay.
And now was the final version of the draft was submitted to the annual session for all NPC members to have a review.
And once this draft law get the passage from the NPC in the future, all the behavior should follow this act. That's the meaning of the law.
And we're saying it's being passed, we're saying in the future. We're talking about the 2 sessions, right? That's when it will be passed.
That depends on the NPC, all members, their ideas, and they will also during the 2 sessions, and they will still can provide their suggestions and opinions on this draft. And the draft lawmakers will also revise something to make it better, to make some improvement. And finally, and the NPC members will vote to decide whether it can be adopted or not.
There have been 14 previous 5-year plans. We're going into the 15th. And why now do the Chinese government feel it's time to take these long-standing practices of national development and finally put it into a law, a draft law as it is right now?
As you know, the 5-year planning lasts a long time, from 1953 to nowadays. So this is a long way. So that means we accumulated a lot of experience. In China, we call it the mutual experience can get the support from the law. That's the one reason. We accumulate the experience. That's the good ways and the successful ways. We should get the improvement from the law. Another reason is nowadays in China, we stressed the rule of law, comprehensive pushing the rule of law. So nowadays, planning is very important. We should put into the channel of the rule of law.
Yes, that's maybe to streamline or make the workflow. I think that is to try to make the workflow more organized. So that's why maybe we can to make our good experience in local government, in local areas, and to upgrade it, to make such kind of a draft. Yes.
Yeah, increase accountability, transparency, efficiency, reduce redundancies,
Right.
so that it's not just about what law is being passed, that could also trickle down to your personal life choices.
In past 30 years, in China, the development is very high speed. But nowadays, with development, we need the high quality development. We need give the good planning.
And it seems to me
Framework
that
for all.
that alignment and consistency is what helps China move at China's speed.
Yeah, right.
Because you're not running into roadblocks among different provinces.
Right.
Like everyone is on the same bus and we're going to the same place.
So thank you guys again
Thank you.
for joining
Thank
us
you.
today.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this masterclass on how law is made in China, as well as how just this is the draft on the national development and planning specifically is being formed.